Talking about beautiful places on the planet just made me it did. It made me think of my earlier stuff. I'm going to share one poem with you that I may have shared here once before, but I just want to share it with you because I like you guys. Because I like you guys. I think there was a funny joke about when I first started writing this short poem. I was at the airport at Radio Gallegos because we had plane trouble in South America. But I started writing it, and like it suddenly feels more like I'm writing about being on like Star Trek or something. Just the way I'm phrasing it, but it's not. This is a poem that's called "On the Bridge," and I might as well show that there's a whale going there. That's my photo related to it. Anyway, sorry. This is called "On the Bridge." The captain invited us on the bridge, and we cautiously walked and watched the majestic view from the front of the ship, searching for what was yet to be found. But lucky us, crewmates saw it, the first humpback whales of the season. So the captain gently slowed the ship down just to try to glide alongside. And maybe the whale was as curious as we, because after a few minutes of gliding, 3 humpback whales came along beside, trying to learn what we might be hiding. Our intentions were pure, but maybe they knew we would never be truly alike. So they blew from their blowholes, curled their back fins, and with their tails, they turned the other way. Yes, it's true, we're not alike. They turned backwards as we moved ahead. But I think we both learned from each other, and we grew through our final goodbye. I was honored to be on the bridge that day. I was honored he gave us that chance to commune with something so different from us that helped us, in a way, make us the same. This one I've never shared here. This is from the cc&d book, War of Water. It's actually like Punch a Drink. It seemed like a good thing to have with the War of Water from one of the titles from it. I've never shared this with you guys. It's short. It's called There I Sit. There I sit alone, separated, isolated, away from my only love, my obsession. I pull out a fountain pen. I see the lines, the contours of his face, defining the piercing eyes, the pointed nose, the tender lips. I sit and I sketch, I feverishly draw until I capture his image. I stare, I gaze, I memorize his every detail. But he never looks back. So I will draw until my fountain pen runs dry. Actually photographed in Kenosha. This is called Pick for the Future. It's a cc&d book, and I've got one short one in here that I would like to share with you. And it is called, how appropriate, I should have pulled this up, called Just One Book. I wore my older sister's communion veil, playing dress-up in my imaginary wedding. I would read my older sister's prayer books, wondering who can hand me my answers. But mangled in a maelstrom of religions, I was left lost, searching for salvation. After years ticked by, and only after when my Judeo-Christian boyfriend gave me a book. It didn't quite fit in with his beliefs, but he told me to give it a read. Now, I remember reading books back when I'd have to tell myself to read 50 pages a day so that I could actually get through it. And after reading any passage, I honestly couldn't even tell you what I had read. But this book was like no other. It spoke to me philosophically, and it managed to show me how to live. You didn't think that you could get so much from just one book. And it's true. Afterwards, I swooped up as much reading on the subject as I could. And it still stuns me that just one book could put me on a track to how to think through life, because suddenly all my reasoning makes sense. With this one book, I learned how to fit the pieces together, and suddenly my life made sense. I didn't think that just one book could do this all to a person, but I'm a living testament to the message, and I'll put my hand on a Bible and swear to this day that just the right book in just the right hands of just the right people can really give the world clarity and transform everything perfectly.
She said we had some plane coverage. One of the planes broke, and the person who had happened to be the pilot that figured out how to not crash the plane was on our flight.
Wow.
It was crazy.
And they dropped down to about 1,000 feet above the ground